Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is Teacher.
Hello.
We continue on with our 5th annual 31 Days of Horror, where we watch a different horror movie every single night in October. Today marks day 9, and our movie for tonight was House LLC 2, Abaddon Hotel. Before we get into it, spoiler warning now. If you want to avoid spoilers, skip ahead to the time code you see on the screen. So let's get into cast and crew rundown, but I'm not going to do the whole cast because there was a lot of people. So I'll just do like the major players. This was written and directed by Stephen Cognetti, who did part 1. And then we had Mitchell Cavanaugh, who returns from part 1. That was played by Vasile Flauteur. Then some new faces. Jessica Fox was played by Jillian Gertz. Molly Reynolds was played by Joy Schatz, which is appropriate because I thought her acting was a big pile of shats.
Mm-hmm.
David Morris was Dustin Austin. Brock Davies was Kyle Engelman. Arnold Tasselman was Brian David Tracy. And Susie McCombs was Amanda K. Morales. Anyone else for cast and crew?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, and also we should point out that pretty much everyone from part 1 returns in some fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So they're there as well. From Alex to Mac to all the rest. All right, so that's cast and crew. Let's get into our initial thoughts. Okay, so for our listeners, there's a movie called Creep, and it's going to be a trilogy. Creep 1 was fantastic. Creep 2 was just balls. It's a planned trilogy. I say all this because let's jump to Hell House. Hell House LLC 1 was a sleeper hit. I thought part 2 was kind of balls.
Yeah, same.
And it's a planned trilogy. This wasn't as big of a fuck up as House's October Built.
Yeah.
But it was really skirting that line as far as retreading the same ground, but not doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike House's, it didn't do the exact same thing, at least. The only good I can say about this movie was, for the most part, the actors that were good were good.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some problem acting. The cinematography was lazy. The direction was lazy. Way too much use of the same kind of pan the camera by, no one's there. Pan the camera back, someone's there. Oh, and they moved. They're chasing us now. Let's run somewhere that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, the camera's getting staticky. We can't see shit.
Yeah, over and over. What worked in 1, you could still use in 2, but you need to do it in a compelling way. It kind of had that same... It did do something that... Oh, what was that movie we just watched a few days ago with Barbara Crampton in it?
Dead Night.
Yeah, that tried to use the news story thing to tell its story. This did that better, at least. This knew how to pace. This is a TV show, and this is what's going on, and this is flashback. You know what I mean? Like, it knew how to do that, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Was kind of bored, and some of the acting was atrocious. I don't know how they were hired. What do you think?
Well, yeah, Molly was horrible. Jessica at times was also kind of horrible.
I thought Jackson was a horrible actor.
Which one was he?
In the very beginning, he's the guy that was in the house. They were interviewing his mom, who was phenomenal.
Yeah, the mom was phenomenal.
She was the best actress in the freaking movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the son was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Molly was right there, though. She was bad.
Mm-hmm. Jessica
didn't bother me as much. I think it's because Molly was so freaking bad.
With Jessica, like, it was odd. Once they were in the house and shooting in the house, her acting didn't bother me. It's all the scenes outside of the house that she was getting on my nerves.
Okay.
And I kept on trying to figure out why they decided to put her in a jacket that was like 3 times her size.
Okay.
But I thought Mitchell was the one from both the first one and the connecting factor between the first 2, right?
Yeah.
I liked him. I thought his acting was good.
Mm-hmm.
The cameraman wasn't bad.
Dustin did good. That was the cameraman. Brock Davies, the annoying psychic guy, did really good.
Mm-hmm.
At being just that obnoxious, like, and now we're going in. Like, just, I was like, oh, yeah, you're such a douche. I thought Arnold Tasselman did good on the TV show. at being just that smug, arrogant douchebag. But once the reveal happened, we went full on camp. And then I thought Susie McCombs, the character, who was the talk show or TV show host lady, other than having makeup that made her look like a zombie, did a decent job. Molly was absolutely god-awful in every single way. And from emoting to delivery to the way she was running away, it was like...
Yeah, I saw that too.
I was like, what the hell? Come on. You can run. Yeah, this felt like a retread that just missed the mark big time. Okay, you want to go and get in our breakdowns?
Yeah.
All right. What was your favorite scene?
Again, it's kind of like retreading, but I still again liked the use of the clown bodies in the basement.
Okay.
Like when they were trying to find Molly, and you could barely see what's going on, but you could just see that there is one clown perched and staring directly at them. And it was still a good use of that, but honestly, there was not much that was my favorite.
Yeah, because even then the clown was just used too much.
Yeah, and again, retreading.
Yeah, in the same way. My favorite scene, I guess, I like the one where the Facebook guy went in for his, he was like live streaming. And I liked it mostly because he said like something like, "I'm sorry, I'll go now." And then the phone just stayed in place. And they said it stayed in place until his battery died. That was the most clever part of the movie for me. A minor one, I did appreciate the inclusion of a gay couple.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought that was cool from that standpoint, but even then, it retreaded the same kind of thing. So, what was your holy shit moment?
You go first.
The only thing I had written holy shit by was when Brock was doing the Ouija kind of ceremony, and then he sees the woman, and they go to run, and then they go run the hallway, and the woman's there. I was like, whoa. It was the only jump scare in the movie, which I appreciated. And it was really the only... Because anything else that could have been holy shit, like the reveal with Jessica at the end, well, they did that already. They did that last time with, what's her? Diane, I think? Yeah,
Diane.
So, I don't know. It's a weak holy shit moment because it was a weak movie. So, yeah, I guess that's mine.
And I really can't bring myself to thinking of one.
Totally fair. Okay, let's go on then. Okay, well, now we have something for this one. What was your mediocre moment?
Oh, God.
Yo.
There's so much.
There is.
Probably the main reveal at the end. I was kind of digging it along when they showed the video footage of who was the guy from Alex from the first one, talking to someone, telling him that you could turn this into a haunted house. And I was already figuring out who the other person was. But then they did the second reveal at the end, and it was just contrived, forced. It was corny.
Yep.
One thing I'm very sick and tired of is whenever it's a character that's a demon or something like that, and they go to speak, and it's just this, they alter the voice, and it's always the same altering of the voice.
Oh, yeah, it's always like, and now we're going to talk about this movie.
Yeah, and I can barely understand you. And yeah, I mean, you usually, even if you're going to take that route, just come up with some better lines.
Or don't use the same voice modulator.
Yeah.
Mine, I have a few. We touched upon it already. The third act was balls. That's today's word, is balls. This movie was kind of balls. Yeah, the third act was, as you said, corny. The reveal was lame. Way too much exposition. Way too much exposition. And I don't care about part 3. Just like I don't care about Creep 3. I don't care now. You showed too much. You said too much. You know, we saw a portal in the basement. Okay, that's your lake of fire. I get it. But so what? You're the Tully guy. Okay, so what? Just Another one is, as I referenced earlier, too much use of the same kind of like camera pans by a hallway, nothing there. Camera pans back, something's there.
Mm-hmm.
They did it at least probably a dozen times.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then a specific one I had written down was when they were trying to run out and they were towards the hall where they came in and that clown was standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking run past the clown.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 3 of you. Run after him, tackle his ass, and go outside. Even if the door shuts on you, you tried. Like, they're like, clown, what do we do? 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 I'm like, shut the fuck up and go.
Well, that, and also, like, do you remember John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness?
Oh, of course.
Remember when the one character is stuck in the closet and the other characters are on this other side of the wall and he starts to freak out?
Mm-hmm.
He grabs whatever is within reach and starts tearing away at that wall.
Mm-hmm.
And that house barely looks like it's standing. You know, if you're trapped in there, start tearing the place apart. Rip up the floorboards.
Mm-hmm.
Tear through that wall.
Or if you just kick through the drywall.
Yeah,
you know,
do something.
Yeah, that was the main one. They talked about how the Tolley guy modeled the hotel after, like...
Is that H.H. Holmes?
Thank you, yeah. H.H. Holmes. And it never got that vibe.
No.
Like, I never got the feeling that it just looked like a cheap old office building got renovated with... It had, like, the shitty ceilings with the little square styrofoam. Like how an office would have. One did a good job of taking... just, like, playing to the strengths and avoiding weaknesses. And 2 forgot how. And then mediocre, again, was Molly. She was god-awful. And she was the final girl. She wasn't the final, but she was the final girl from Terrifier. Bad. Like, she was that bad. And she just drugged the movie down. All right, if any, LOL moment.
No.
Straight away. I'm looking. Okay, I guess the only thing that made me chuckle was when they first introduced Mitchell on the talk show. He's like, I have a comment and a question. He turns to the Tasman guy. He's like, you're a dick. Comment. Why? Question. I was like, okay, that was pretty funny. All right, well, that's our breakdown. Anything else you want to go to my notes?
Notes is fine.
All right, so let's go to Philip's notes. As we said, Jackson's mom was a great actress. She did really good, the mom in the beginning. Jackson, not so much. It doesn't run in the family.
No.
With the exposition of, like, the domino effect we found out later, in 1997, going back to Jackson when he was a kid, and he says the hotel opens in 2009, tell everyone. Okay. I mean, I thought it was cool as far as the domino effect, putting that first domino in play. But then replaying it back with that added voice was lame. Morning Mysteries looks like a horrible TV show.
Yes, but I will say, it looks like a horrible TV show belonging to a local network.
That's true, yeah. Okay, so the police went inside looking for this Cameron kid, but they came out okay. So if you're a cop, you're safe? How does this lore work? Exactly. And then, the gay couple pick up a hitchhiker. Once again, calling back to someone goes outside of the hotel to bring more people in, which they did like 3 times. Was Jessica being interviewed in a shed?
Yeah, it kind of looked like it.
We had a couple, 2 that I counted, Lovely Molly drops, which I thought may have been a kind of like nod from the director. Maybe he liked the movie. Because they called her Lovely Molly both times. So I was like, that's pretty cool if it was. Then we have another. It's a twist. Arnold Tasselman couldn't arrive. He was just on my show. But, he said he called and said he couldn't make it. I just interviewed him. Like, okay. We're relying on the same trope way too much. That's what started the hokey final act with Andrew Tolley going full just camp. I think it was just so corny, as you said. I didn't care at all. I didn't care he had to choose somebody. I didn't care. There's a mid-credit scene.
Oh, I shut it off immediately. So, what was it?
It's just Alex and Mac from the first movie. Well, they were in this movie too at the table, but they were sitting at a table in like a diner. And Mac turns the camera on, and Alex comes in. He's like, "Is this on?" He says, "Yeah." Alex says, "Why?" And Max says, "I want proof. I want this on tape that I had nothing to do with this." And then Alex, being a douche, because he was, turns and says, "Yes, he had nothing to do with this," referring to whatever happened to them in the haunt or whatever that they had before Abaddon, where he lost all of their money and not instead of his money. And Alex says to Mac, "I found a new place. It goes this long thing." He's like, "But help me convince the others." And Mac doesn't really want to do it. And then he's like, they're here. And Alex is like, help convince them. Something like that. And then they're like, "Hey, everybody." And it cuts off. That's the mid-credit scene. And those are all for my notes. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
We'll go to final thoughts.
Final thoughts is fine.
Let's go to final thoughts. This wasn't a good movie.
No.
At all. I don't know what else to... Part 1 had the same thing that Houses October Built 1 had. It had a group of people who had good chemistry.
I just remember those two guys that I thought that at one point one was going to confess his love to the other one.
Yeah, like they had a good dynamic. Alex was the overbearing douchebag. And Mac was the, what's the word I'm looking for? Not unwilling.
Grounded.
No, like the friend that just goes along with it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the group being what it was helped sell the movie. Mm-hmm. This, I didn't care about anybody.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I was not invested in anyone. Even Mitchell, I liked his character, but just his entire thing of, I'm not going to step foot in there. Nobody should step foot in there.
But Diane. Oh, somebody said Diane. What Diane?
Yeah. Okay, let's go in there.
Yeah. You know what happens. Why would you go back?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since you saw Diane. I doubt she's alive.
Yeah. Were you fucking? I don't remember that.
Yeah, the motivation to get him back in, not only did it take no coercion. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, overall, big thumbs down. Much like Creep 3, I'll watch Hell House 3, but I'm not expecting much like Creep 3. So, Anything else you want to add as final thoughts?
No.
Yeah. All right, so that's final thoughts. But before we go, as it pertains to Hell House LLC 2, what did we learn?
I learned that good movies can sometimes lead to mediocrity as far as sequels go.
Yeah, along the same lines, I learned that sometimes you should just leave well enough alone.
Mm-hmm.
Hell House LLC was, as said, a sleeper hit. And kind of surprised a lot of people, us included. But yeah, just leave well enough alone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wraps up day 9. Thank you for listening. If you've seen Hell House LLC 2, tell us what you thought of the movie in the comments below. Did you like it? And if you did, what did you like about it? And if you didn't like it, please let us know. So maybe there's something that you didn't like that we didn't think of, because there was a lot to not like.
Mm-hmm.
If you liked the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends or cool people who might dig the Vizcast. And please subscribe to the channel, including hitting that notification bell to stay up to date on the newest content. Speaking of, for day 10, we'll be watching the movie The Snowman, which should be interesting. So until tomorrow, once again, my name is Philip.
And I'm TJ.
And we'll return then to talk about The Snowman. Goodbye.
Bye.